I'm fascinated to see it. Wrestling's fun, baby. This is why multiple companies is good for
Free
business.
agency is awesome.
Speaking of free agency, William Regal did ask for Tony Khan to not pick up his option, and he is going back to WWE. And it was reported earlier today that he will be going back in a vice president role, but he cannot appear on television until after the year 2023. And all this was done because Regal wanted to go back and coach his son in NXT. I don't think anybody can blame a father for wanting to be with his child. And kudos to all involved for doing so admirably and without issue. Based on everything we know, everything was incredibly professional, and that's how you make an exit. But I think the most important thing we need to talk about with this, Fred, and I'm going to let you talk about it first because I kind of liked it, even though I also understand that it sucks. They did that extra segment where they had Regal film with Shivani if MJF turned on him, and he said he gave the Nux to MJF to teach one last lesson in the Blackpool Combat Club, and that was to always keep eyes in the back of your head. Watch your back. And logistically, I think it makes sense. I think based on the context of the story with Regal and especially with Danielson and Moxley being like a father figure to these men. Okay. Makes sense. Teach them a story. It also kind of stunk. Like, I think we're on different sides here. I want to give you the opportunity to say your piece, and then I think I might defend this. I don't know yet.
Look, I won't say it was like a disaster or anything, but I thought this was very awkward. What it reminded me of was like an early 90s TV show, like a Murder, She Wrote, built around people coming in to watch a video will. This felt like we were watching William Regal's last will and testament for his AEW run that he put together just in case he was murdered by MJF. And then it was a furious attempt at a retcon. I don't think it makes any sense whatsoever. I thought it was extremely funny when the camera cut back to Jon Moxley in the ring and he had a look on his face like, what the hell was that? And then kind of just no-sold the whole video and just cut a generic Jon Moxley promo. I thought that was all very funny. I don't think this was like an all-time bad segment that does damage to a company, but I don't think it made any sense whatsoever. But I will say I thought it was classy to give Regal kind of a formal sending off on TV. And, in that regard, it was nice. But I didn't like it, how it was done. I thought that it just was very... had a very tenuous connection to what these characters would have done. But I'm willing to let it slide because I know that really the reason it happened is because they wanted to do kind of a classy send-off for William Regal. God, I can't talk. But that's my take on it. I don't have anything more, like I'm not going to sit here for 10 minutes and rant about how every bit of it didn't make any sense or whatever. Like it's just kind of a goofy way to work backwards and try to make something make sense that changed that had situations around it change.
Yeah, I don't think they needed to do it, but I liked how they went about doing it, at least tying connective tissue, having it make sense. Basically, MJF used Regal, which, I mean, it's MJF. He uses everybody to get whatever the hell he wants, and now he has the title. I think it's objectively fine, and I also have no problem with anybody burying it, but it ties up Regal. He's gone. It gives the group, like, hey, we're going to be done with the JAS. We're going to do our own thing. And obviously, Jon Moxley has Hangman Page in his sights. Claudio's the new Ring of Honor World Champion. And this all made sense while it being completely unnecessary and you don't have to do it. But I don't have an issue with it. Like, they didn't screw anything up. They didn't make anybody look bad. They just made Regal look like a dunce. And then he had to tie it into, hey, I'm going to teach you guys a lesson because I was an idiot. Like, that's fine. If anything, you're burying Regal on the way out and letting him do so in a professional manner, which that's kind of the point. Like in the territory days, when you leave a territory, you lie on your back, you take the 1, 2, 3 and you're gone. you put somebody else over, and it's almost like Regal did that. So I don't really have an issue.
I do think it kind of undercuts the emotional value of the previous week's angle, where he got laid out by MJF. I thought that was fantastic. That part of it was, and I like that a lot. I thought it was done tremendously. I thought that Regal did a fantastic job selling it. I thought Danielson running out with one boot on was like a great selling point of it. And I feel like, this was basically Poochie died on his way back to his home planet kind of stuff. And it's kind of a shame that's a send-off formally rather than the very good wrestling angle that preceded it. But I also just like, with regards to things I'm going to get mad about, this isn't that high on the list. It's just kind of like I'm shrugging at it. It's not great, but whatever.
It's objectively fine. That's what it is.